talking to today is Dr. Kelsey. She's a naturopath in town, and if you don't know what naturopaths do, they are another opportunity for you to get medical care that isn't from a GP or an OBGYN. So a lot of people I know who use naturopaths use the two in combination and find that they're able to get a whole picture of their health from the combination of using a naturopath and a MD. Yeah, so what else should we talk about with Dr. Kelsey?
Well, and I think there are definitely some people that also stick with naturopathic health as like their main source of a physician.
True. Yeah.
You know, I think it can go both ways. I think that, you know, some people will do like the naturopath plus midwife when it comes to pregnancy, and maybe not even see an OBGYN. Right. So it's just nice to know that there are so many different options for all of our different preferences, right?
Totally. So I'm seeing that Dr. Kelsey's here, so I'm going to go ahead and invite her to come and join us. Here we go. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Kelsey.
Hi.
Good morning.
You're hanging out with me in my bedroom as we navigate this interesting space. You guys did such a nice job talking about how naturopaths can sort of enter into your care. So I work with growing families, and I kind of break that into three main categories that all of you are probably familiar with: getting pregnant, pregnancy, and then postpartum. And I came to naturopathic medicine because I was really interested in the fertility aspect of growing families. And then I became a parent myself and realized that it's really an all-encompassing support that can be utilized in these really tender years. So getting pregnant, my care focuses a lot on balancing hormones and nutrients, a lot of education on low toxic living and nutrition and mood support. So if any of you have gone through the challenging journey that fertility can be, there's a lot of emotions around that. And I have a lot of tools for helping to support the emotional aspect. As I'm talking, I realized that I made this really sweet little slide thing. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. And that's me. Can you see the next picture?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So that's a lot of the fertility work that I do. And again, like the growing family component is that I really love working with couples, other siblings, all of that jazz. And then during pregnancy, I'm just going to kind of flip through these pictures. During pregnancy is a lot of continued care with nutrient support, herbs that are safe in pregnancy to help with the little discomforts of heartburn or nausea or aches and pains of pregnancy. All of that stuff is really, really powerful. I was really grateful for the support team that I had, including my naturopath and acupuncturist and chiropractor during my pregnancies. And then, as mentioned in the little giveaway raffle, I do my abdominal massage, which is something that's great to do during fertility work, but also starting at 20 weeks during pregnancy. And it helps with just the aches and pains of pregnancy. It helps to bring optimal blood flow to the womb, to the growing fetus, to prepare baby for optimal birthing position. So many good benefits with that body work. Let's see here. Oh, and then postpartum, there's me and my little babes. I've got a 3 and a 5-year-old, and becoming a mom really kind of rocked my world in a lot of ways. I had my first kiddo when I was in my last year of medical school, which was pretty intense. And we all have those sort of intense moments, I think, during infant years. So my passion in a lot of my journey has been now supporting folks postpartum. And a lot of that is, you know, hormonal shifts, how we can identify with our newfound identity within relationships, and lots of different nutrient requirements for breastfeeding or not, just sort of how we can support the whole body. Yeah. And then the growing family, like the whole family support is really important to me because it isn't just about the pregnant person and how we can support them, but also how partners feel health wise and how they can be supportive within the family dynamic. Um, Sweet little book that I love. So a lot of the symptoms that whole families come in to see me for are fatigue or sleeplessness, insomnia, digestive symptoms, mood symptoms, headaches, rashes, all the different things that, like Sarah and Olivia commented at the preview, people come in to see a naturopath for. So lots of holistic healthcare. And let's see. So the last little bit that I wanted to chat with, I don't even know what my time is looking like, but I think I'm okay, is that I have a lot of training in something called nutrigenomics or genetic polymorphisms, which is, they're really big words. If you've never heard them, you're not alone. But it's basically small genetic variants that we all have thousands of them within our bodies and how our biochemical enzymes are communicating. And the way that I see that play clinically is with things like estrogen dominance, or how our bodies clear estrogen, how our bodies clear serotonin, which is really important for mood symptoms, and how we, and then all those things and how our symptoms are playing out. So with sleep or anxiety or hormonal imbalances. And the genetic SNP, which stands for single nucleotide polymorphism that most folks are familiar with, is the MTHFR genetic variant, which is really only one piece of the big puzzle that I like to help support folks with. And those genetic SNPs are really important for this phase of life, growing family care, because it's all about how our DNA is replicating in growing a baby and recovering postpartum. So I have a lot of training in that, and I love looking into genetic information for patients and educating folks around that stuff, which is really, really validating and really helpful. So in the midst of our current pandemic state, I've been focusing a lot of my attention on writing some articles and putting them on my website, and just sort of support for folks in terms of how you can educate yourself and think about optimizing your health during this time. So that's a little snapshot on my website if you wanted to pop over and read some of those. And then in normal non-pandemic life, I see patients in person at Rose City Family Wellness in Southeast. It's a sister business to Alma Midwifery. So a nice little collective of care through all of your pregnancy, postpartum times. And in addition to seeing patients in person there, I have been equipped and been doing virtual visits for a while, and I'm doing those exclusively right now, though I expect that changes next month in some capacity. We will see. Was there anything else I wanted to mention? Oh, and then just in terms of connecting, I offer 15-minute discovery calls, which is just a way for us to chat and see how we can work together, if we'd be a good fit working together, all that jazz. And then after new patient visits, I'll give you information on the membership care packages that I have designed to be really inclusive for care for growing families and be there for you. My intention is really just to be, I love how Liz talked about being like the mom friend, or even how Sarah and Olivia talked about being the support to a midwife or an OB and all of that. That's really what my care is for a lot of families, because the more information we can get, the better, the more health we can have, the more information we can glean for how to support our bodies during this special time is really special, I think. So.
I'm popping back on because we have a couple of questions. One is that if you have never had this type of care done prior to pregnancy, is it still okay to do this?
Yeah. Totally. I mean, my training is as a primary care doctor, so I know a lot of the care that goes into being any sort of care provider during pregnancy. I think that's kind of what you're asking there.
Yeah.
Nothing's really a lot different. And then if anything, it's a lot more gentle and a lot more supportive. I think of naturopathic medicine as being, whole body care rather than just treating the symptom. So it's definitely safe and good to do. Covered by insurance. Some naturopaths take insurance. I personally do not take insurance. So that's a great question. Is out-of-pocket pay, but then I give you a super bill, which has insurance codes on it for you to submit to your insurance company. And I would say most people get something back from their insurance company. You'll just get a check in the mail reimbursing you for some percentage of your care plan. And then I see this other question here. What's the big difference between a doctor and a naturopath? To clarify that, I'm a naturopathic doctor, so I did go to medical school. There are some naturopaths out there in the world who did like an online training and can call themselves a naturopath. There's a lot of politics around that in the world of naturopathic medicine. But and I think I kind of mentioned that a moment ago, that I did do a lot of medical training, so that I have a medical license through the state of Oregon. But the naturopathic approach is more of like a root cause. My go-to example is always like heartburn. Not in a pregnant person. We would think of heartburn as like a medical doctor would treat with a proton pump inhibitor, like changing the way the body responds to acid. But as a naturopathic doctor, we're looking at what the cause of heartburn is and how to treat the acidic imbalance within the stomach and treating that cause for lifelong support and symptom management, rather than just sort of slapping a Band-Aid on the body and treating that. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Feel free to email me and connect. I love the community of Portland providers and parents is so inspiring, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kelsey.
I don't know how to stop sharing. Oh, stop sharing. Yeah, got it.
We're going to go ahead and say goodbye to you and throw your information back up. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, have a good day.